Dear students, you welcome on Learning with L&R, and today I would like to talk with you regarding the new topic, that is types of evaluation. There are two types of main two types of evaluation, that is formative evaluation, that is also known as process evaluation, and the second one summative evaluation, that is also called product evaluation. First of all, I would like to discuss with you about the formative evaluation. It refers to evaluation taking place during the program or learning activity. It is conducted while the event to be evaluated is occurring and focuses on identifying the progress towards purposes, objectives, or outcomes to improve the activities, course, curriculum, program, or teaching and student. Okay. For example, when you are entered in our BSc nursing training, that time the teacher evaluates you from the first day to the final exam day. Okay. In between the evaluation from first day to the end, to the day of final examination, that is the formative evaluation, with the help of test, with the help of your contribution in the activities, that is contributed in your formative evaluation. In this, your teacher guides you to improve your performance and find out the strength and weakness of yours which contribute to your progress or your failure. There are types of formative evaluation: needs assessment, evaluability assessment, structured conceptualization, implementation evaluation, and process evaluation. Then there are some advantages of formative evaluation. It emphasizes the parts instead the entirety. It mainly focuses on each and every student. The events are recent, thus of making accuracy and preventing distortion by time. The results can be used to improve student performance, program of instruction, or learning outcome before the program or course has concluded. There are some disadvantages too, because every coin has two sides. Making judgment before the activity is completed and not being able to see results before judgments are made. It's intrusive, interrupt the flow of outcomes, and chance for a false sense of security when formative evaluation is positive and the final results are not positive as predicted earlier. Okay. Then the second one is summative evaluation. It is the evaluation when, for example, when your final exam conducted by the university, that is your summative evaluation, and formative evaluation, your teacher judge you whole year, that is formative evaluation. Under the summative evaluation, the examine the effects or outcomes of some object. Because when you entered in BSc nursing training, there are objective to teach you about the theory, teach you about the practical, and teach the basics, how to provide the care to the patient in the hospital setting. Okay. There are some types: outcome evaluation, impact evaluation, cost effectiveness and cost benefit analysis, secondary analysis, and meta-analysis. There are some advantages. All work has been completed and the findings of evaluation is that nothing can be done to alter the results. Because in formative we have chance to improve ourselves, but in summative evaluation we don't have chance to improve. Maximum performance evaluation. It concerned with determining a person's abilities and how well an individual can perform when motivated to obtain as high a score as possible. Aptitude and achievement tests are useful in measuring maximum performance. For example, sometimes the students do not know about the strength, about the capability of their self. That time the teacher judge the student and know that the maximum performance of the student. That time the teacher motivate the student to achieve the maximum performance evaluation. Next one is typical performance evaluation. It determines what individual will do under natural conditions. Okay. The next one is criterion referenced evaluation. This describes pupils, pupil means students, performance according to a specific domain of clearly defined learning task. Then the norm referenced evaluation. Norm referenced evaluation is based on comparing student achievement to that of others. For example, in the classroom, there are 50 students and we compare the performance of each student with the other one. Evaluation process. Identifying the purpose of evaluation. First of all, we know about the why we are going to evaluate. Identifying a time frame when we evaluate, to determine when to evaluate, selecting the evaluators, choosing an evaluation design and framework of models, like selecting an evaluation instrument, collecting data, interpreting data, reporting the findings, using the findings, considering the costs of evaluation. Then identifying the purpose of evaluation, then identifying a time frame, then determining when to evaluate, selecting the evaluators, choosing an evaluation design or framework of model. After that, selecting an evaluation instrument. Under this instrument, we have there are many kind of instruments like questionnaire, interview, observation, rating scale, checklist, attitude scale, semantic differential, self-report, journal, diary, anecdotal notes. Then selection and development of evaluation instrument. Instruments should have the following characteristics. Appropriate for the instrument, which we have analyzed earlier in the previous slide. Appropriate for what is being evaluated. But whatever we decide to evaluate, the instrument must meet the criteria. Appropriate for the domain being evaluated, comprehensive, easy to use, cost effective, time efficient, valid and reliable. Collecting data, it consider data source, amount of data, timing of data collection, formal versus informal data collection, right? Then interpreting data, putting the data in usable form, organizing data for analysis, interpreting data against re-established criteria. Then consider frame of reference, norm-referenced interpretation, criterion referenced interpretation, the issues of objectivity and subjectivity, legal considerations. Then reporting the finding, whatever we receive, and using the finding. Considering the costs of evaluation. The next one is principles of evaluation. Determining and clarifying what is to be evaluated always has priority in the evaluation process. Evaluation techniques should be selected according to the purposes to be served. Comprehensive evaluation requires a variety of evaluation techniques. Proper use of evaluation techniques requires an awareness of both their limitations and strengths. Evaluation is a means to an end, not an end itself. Then, need and importance of evaluation. It fulfills classroom objectives because we have to know about the learning attitude of the students, and the evaluation fulfill our objectives. Diagnose learning difficulties of students. In this, we find out the strength and weakness of the students. Then determine readiness for new learning experiences. After that, form students' classroom groups for special activities, assist students in their problems of adjustment, and prepare reports of pupil or students' progress. There are some characteristics of evaluation. Evaluation is a continuous process. Why? Because when we know about the weakness of the students, we can teach the student, guide the student, motivate the students for progress or for hard work. That's why this is the continuous process. Evaluation includes academic and non-academic subjects. Evaluation is a procedure for improving the product, discovering the needs of an individual and designing learning experience. Evaluation is purpose oriented. Then after that, characteristics of good evaluation. The good evaluation must be validity. A valid evaluation is one which actually tests what it sets out to test. Okay. Then the reliability. It's reliable. The reliability is a measure of the consistency with which the question, test or examination produces the same result under different but comparable conditions. When we check our evaluation in different situation, but it gives the same result in a comparable conditions. Okay. Then models of evaluation: educational evaluation, objective based, first one instructional objectives, then learning experience and evaluation; decision based, value based and naturalistic approach. Purposes of evaluation in nursing education: to determine the level of knowledge and understanding of students, to determine the level of students' clinical performance, to become aware of the specific difficulties of individual students or of an entire class as a basis for further teaching. Then to diagnose each student's strengths and weakness and to suggest remedial measures which may be needed. That's why it's a continuous process to encourage students learning by measuring their achievements and informing them of their success. To help students to become increasingly self-directing in their study, to help students to acquire that attitude of and skills in self-evaluation. Then to provide the additional motivation of examination that provide opportunity to practice critical thinking, the application of principles, the making of judgments. To estimate the effectiveness of teaching and learning techniques of subject content and of instructional media in attaining the goals of the program. To gather information needed for administrative purpose. Thank you so much. I hope you have clear with this lecture.